Hi, my name is Marcus and welcome back to the channel. Spider-Man is riding a tidal wave of popularity right now. I love Brand New Day. You love Brand New Day. It's a couple of peons on the internet that needed to express their discomfort of the movie to try to explore their own pathetic platforms. But, for me personally, I really enjoyed the movie, and it seems off the cusp of making $1 billion in its first opening weekend. You enjoyed it as well. So what I want to do today, riding off that tidal wave of popularity, I want to give my ranking of every major theatrical release of every Spider-Man movie focusing on either Peter Parker or Miles Morales. Not Venom, not the Spider-Women, not any other Spider-Villain that Sony has made, just focusing on your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's 11 of them, so let's get started. Everybody likes the top 10, right? Let's do it. It'll be fun. Number 11, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield. This movie is by no means bad on any stretch of the imagination. The only reason that it just gets last on the list is because it's so predictable. Oh, spoilers. Well, as soon as they started talking about, let's go to London. I'm sure it's crime in London. I got a sponsorship or a scholarship to go to school in London. I'm like, she's gonna die. Spider-Man doesn't fight crime in London. No. Again, the fights with Electro, not my favorite design for Electro for Jamie Foxx. It's a little bit weird. Had some cool fight scenes with the electricity. Not my favorite Green Goblin either, or Hobgoblin, whatever. It's weird that they skipped Norman and went straight to Harry. It's just some odd decision making in the whole situation. That's why it takes the last place spot. Again, when we went to go see it in theater, I enjoyed my popcorn. I enjoyed my soda and my whiskey, but it's just not my favorite at all whatsoever. And that's why that takes the last place spot. Sorry, Andrew Garfield fans. Number 10, Spider-Man 3, simply because it was just a convoluted mess of just too many villains in one. Between you got Venom, Sandman, and Harry's Junior Gobby, Hobgoblin, Goblin 2, Goblin Jr. It's just too much going on. They really should have just deleted all those other villains and just focused on Sandman. Maybe saved Venom for the next one, or maybe have just done Goblin Jr. and Sandman. But trying to do 3 villains in one movie is just too much, man. Still has some cool scenes with the symbiote taking over Peter, but I don't really think you needed that. You have enough of turmoil within Peter, of him finding out that it was actually Sandman that killed Uncle Ben instead of the random carjacker, the robber thief from the wrestling situation. It was a whole lot. And then the whole him getting the symbiote and doing the dance. To get on up. It was just a whole lot. The dancing with the ladies and the trying to hit on them, trying to be funny. Just cheesy, corny across the board. Even though all the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies are pretty cheesy when you look at them from today's standards, but Spider-Man 3 definitely took the cookie cutter cake from that, as for sure. So that's why it takes this number 10 spot. Still ultimately enjoy the experience, but if we're making a list here, it's definitely nowhere near the top tier of the list, that's for sure. Sorry, Tobey Maguire fans. Number 9, The Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. There's nothing wrong with this movie. It's just, for me, I feel like I had just seen it with Tobey Maguire. It was another origin story with the whole Peter Parker, Uncle Ben dies, Aunt May is sad. He's trying to find Uncle Ben's murderer because he just helped him out, into the Tobey Maguire. It was a wrestling situation where he didn't get paid. In this one, it was a mugger situation from a convenience store. Couldn't get his chocolate milk, so he didn't stop the dude from robbing the convenience store. And then he ran away. Uncle Ben saw it, ended up getting murdered. The same story, just him accepting the responsibility of becoming Spider-Man. I feel like just not enough time passed. I think it was like maybe 10 years between the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire and The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. The original with Tobey Maguire was still way too fresh in my memory banks, so for it to be rebooted as such. It's not even to say Andrew Garfield did a bad job. He's probably my favorite iteration of Spider-Man. Not Peter Parker. He's a little too cool to be Peter Parker, in my opinion. but I feel like he's the best on-screen representation of the Spider-Man body type. Does that make sense? So yeah, just Lizard is a great choice. I love the Spider-Man versus Lizard fights. Just I don't know, it was too soon. It was too soon, man. I would love to see the Lizard come back, but it's just too soon. That's the only way. That's the only reason it's this low on the list. So sorry, Andrew Garfield films again. Number 8, Spider-Man Far From Home, the fight against Mysterio. Again, not a bad movie at all. I so enjoyed this film. This is a very tough list to make, as you all know. That's why I'm making this video. But it's just, when you start comparing it to every other Spider-Man experience, theatrical experience that I've ever had, it's just, did I like this film more than these other 7 movies? No. I really enjoyed Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. Cunning, almost like a Tony Stark Jr. We're coming off the cusp ending of Avengers Endgame. We're so thirsty for more Marvel Cinematic Universe experiences. We're so curious to see where it's going to go. Are we thinking that Spider-Man is going to be Iron Man Jr.? Is he going to fulfill that role of being the centerpiece, the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And the movie even tackles that within the story. Even Spider-Man, Peter Parker himself, is having anxiety with, like, I'm not Iron Man. And, I can't fulfill those shoes. What do you want from me? I'm just a kid from Queens. I can't fill the role of Tony Stark. It's too much. And that's brilliant screenplay. It's a brilliant story. And with the ending, the throw in the middle of it, you have Peter and MJ fall in love in this one. I loved it. I'm a hopeless romantic. I love this film, but I just loved the other 7 a little bit more. This is not a bad film. It's just I had to put a movie in this spot, and it's just for one reason or another. Maybe just the Mysterio villain character wasn't strong enough to push this upward forward. But I enjoyed it though. The illusions that he was throwing at Peter, mine F to the extreme. But it's a great film. It really is. But you got to put a movie somewhere, and this is where this one goes. So sorry, Tom Holland fans. But this is not bad, though. This is a hard list to make. That's all it is to it, man. Number 6, Spider-Man Homecoming. Tom Holland's first solo outing into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not technically his introduction. That was in Captain America Civil War. But essentially, this is him kind of accepting his tutelage from Tony Stark's Iron Man, getting the suit and getting the suit taken away, and then kind of going from this being just like a fun activity into trying to get into that Avenger status, trying to impress Tony, and then fully accepting the role of being Spider-Man, being a hero, not getting the "with great power comes great responsibility" speech yet. He didn't get that until No Way Home. But at least with here, as represented in a classic comic book, he gets trapped. He's thinking somebody's going to come and save him. Now he has to save himself. He is Spider-Man. He has the strength of 10 men, so on and so forth. Really cool movie. Vulture was a fantastic villain. Easily one of my favorites in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Really cool fight scenes between Spider-Man and Vulture. So definitely got to appreciate that. Yeah, just kiddie, kind-hearted. Definitely not masterpiece worthy. So it is too, man. It's a fun ride. Just gotta, have fun with it while it's going on. There's definitely better Tom Holland Spider-Man films, that's for sure. But that's why it takes the number 6 spot. It's getting hard, man. Number 6, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales. The spot, not my favorite villain. Kind of weak, if I'm being completely honest. I definitely much prefer the Miguel Spider-Man 99 to kind of fulfill that surprise villain role, to take on the anomaly, which is Miles Morales, so supposed to be Spider-Man. He's the reason that the Peter Parker got killed in that universe. So he, his whole thing is, you're not even supposed to be here. What the hell? And just the whole premise of Miles Morales accepting his role of Spider-Man and not accepting that his father is dying at the hands of the Spot is supposed to be a canon event. But my favorite part of the movie for sure is the love story between Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. As I've always stated, I'm a hopeless romantic for these types of movies. So seeing that on screen definitely puts a smile on my face. But the only thing that brings it down me, from the action to the animation to the music, the music. I mean, I still utilize some of that music to this day when I'm doing my own workouts, some push-ups, some lifting weights, whatever. Use them, man. It's good stuff. But the only thing that brings it down for me is the spot. It's literally it. Not a terrible villain, just not my favorite. See, it is, but still a brilliant film across the board. That's all it is to it. That's why it takes our number 6 spot. Number 5, the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. Great film. This was kind of an introductory into a cinematic Spider-Man world. I'd already been a huge casual Spider-Man fan from the animated Spider-Man show from Fox Kids from the 90s, but this is the one that definitely peaked, that started the fire of the Spider-Man passion that I have held for the last 25 years now. Definitely thank you to the day. It's so good, dude. It really is. And just seeing the sinister action of the Green Goblin, that was really kind of my first introduction to how evil the Green Goblin is. I was like, dang, this is Marvel's Joker. Literally. So, because up until that point, the craziest villain that I had ever seen was the Joker. Then seeing the Green Goblin in action, I'm like, oh, okay. Now I get it. I understand now. I don't have that 50-year history of comic books in my brain. I'm coming off the cusp of my passion from the cartoons and the movies and the video games. So this one definitely is what sparked the flame for sure. And that's why it takes our number 5 spot. Number 4, Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is easily Tom Holland's strongest performance as Peter Parker. I am so proud and happy for him to have gotten to do a 4th solo iteration of this character. You can just see the growth. It's almost a completely different character from the child, teenage Peter Parker from the original Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise into Peter Parker's adulthood, into his acceptance of the Doctor Strange spell, him trying to just live out his life as the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man while trying to forget the insomnia of the Peter Parker personnel, but with the help of his friends that don't even remember him, with the help of the memory of Aunt May, with the help of Frank the Punisher. The partnership between Spider-Man and the Punisher in this movie is easily one of the best kind of buddy cop comedic drama partnerships I've ever seen put to screen. Please don't end that. Please, Kevin Feige and team, continue partnerships like that, because that is some of the best. We got a kind of a flair of that from the Peter-Tony relationship, but that Peter-Frank relationship, those grounded superheroes that's just trying to help out the little guy, that small potato, not big potato, small potato. The fight between the Hulk, easily my favorite Hulk performance, Savage Hulk performance in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Easily one of my favorite representations of the Punisher in any Punisher, show, movie that I've seen in the past. The antagonist or whatnot. Get over it. What's wrong with you? It was a great story. The mutants have been persecuted, are starting to be persecuted now, and Peter actually irrevocably produces a mechanism to help pursue the mutants. So her being the antagonist, this film ended up where the story ended up was such a great accumulation of the storytelling here, man. So bravo. Easy number 4 spot. Easily could have taken one of the top 3 spots, but I'm gonna leave it at number 4 for now, because the top 3 at this point, you should know what they are. But once it's gonna take the top 3 spots, let's get to it, man. Number 3, Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse. To the day, this is holds the best kind of transformation and acceptance of the mission into Spider-Man that I have ever seen put to paper, put to screen. From the music to the thunderstorm in the background to all of the characters convincing Miles that it is you either want it or you don't want it. It's either you accept the responsibility or you don't accept it. You just have to let it happen. It's something that's going to happen within this life that just propels you that this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do, and nothing's going to stop me. So the death of Uncle Aaron, who is revealed to be the Prowler, who and his final act was trying to protect Miles from getting hurt, ends up getting killed by the Kingpin. That is what propels Miles to master his spider abilities, master his venom ability, his cloaking ability, don his own version of the classic blue and red Spider-Man suit and turn it into a black and red Spider-Man suit, and climbing to the highest skyscraper in New York, jumping off the building, and fully accepting the training of the web slingers, the just the swinging through New York City. Is this Oscar level brilliance between cinematography, music, action, voice work put to screen. I'm so anxious to see what they're going to do with the third one. I don't think they're going to be able to top what they did in the first one, but I would love to see it. Hopefully it comes out sooner rather than later. But that scene alone and the journey, the origin story of Miles Morales within the Spider-Verse, coming with the help of a Gwen Stacy, Peter B. Parker, and all of the rest of the cohorts, even with the original Peter Parker getting killed by Kingpin, still such a brilliant origin story for the Miles Morales Spider-Man, which still makes me so excited to see how they're going to produce this story for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this movie for sure is what pushes me to like, come on, man, we got to get Miles Morales in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Got to be happening soon here. Come on. Easy number 3 spot for me for sure. Number 2, Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire. This is the quintessential Spider-Man film that propelled my Spider-Man fandom from casual to diehard. After watching Spider-Man 2 in theater, I knew I was going to be a Spider-Man fan until I was no longer on this earth no more. That's all this to it. From Peter Parker, seeing the struggle of him wanting his own personal life, him wanting the love of Mary Jane, even though he told girl that in the first one, they're like, I can't do it. I'm just your friend. Even though I love you, girl, I have to accept this role to protect New York as Spider-Man. But then just seeing that, him struggle with that, and then finally with Doc Ock over and over and over again. Doc Ock still easily one of the greatest villains in the Spider movie verse for sure. Seeing that turmoil, seeing him struggle with Harry, as Harry knowing that he has a personal relationship with Spider-Man, ends up finding out that Peter is Spider-Man. Trials and tribulations after trials and tribulations after trials and tribulations, fighting through each individual personal battle and still being able to come out on top and still somehow miraculously getting the girl in the end, I guess after saving her life so many times, even though I always say Kristen Dunst is my least favorite Spider-Man heroine throughout all these films, but her performance as Mary Jane Watson here is just spectacular. Aunt May's, I can't think of the older actress's name, but just her, there's a hero in all of us speech, just gut-wrenching, you get motivated yourself to be a better person, to be a better man. How could you not take what they're teaching you in these films here just to be an overall better person? This is the movie here that is the main reason I'm talking to you today. Why I've been talking to you for Spider-Man on YouTube for 10 years. That's all it is to it. This is the movie, man. I love it. And that's an easy spot for the number 2 taking for me. Okay? Should be obvious what number 1 is, but we'll still do a drum roll. But let's get right to it, man. Here's our number 1 pick for my personal favorite Spider-Man film of all time. Number 1, Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, this movie was just a celebration of Spider-Man. Having all those villains from previous movies come together, having Tobey come back, having Andrew come back and team up and help Tom Holland's Spider-Man in his most desperate time of need and grief, having it be a reveal that the Aunt May character, the Marissa Tomei, gives the great power must come great responsibility scene in this movie. Listen to me, there's very few times in a lifetime where you see movies that give you pure motivation in your own personal life. The more that I grow as a person, the more that I grow as a man, the older that I get, the more that I grow as a father and a husband. With great power comes must also come great responsibility that has to be taken to heart to be able to succeed in this life. we see people that, you know, struggle with life, fail at life all the time. And it's like, why do they fail? It's just a situation where, like, you have to take all of the gifts that you've been given. You have to utilize, whether it be a physical standpoint of the gift that you've been given, or whether it be a mental. Maybe you have like a mental gift that you've been given that you have to train and exaggerate so that you can be a successful contributing member to society. You don't even have to be a superhero, somebody with powers, but just accepting the responsibility that you were put on this planet for a reason, to contribute to in some sort of a capacity. And Spider-Man No Way Home definitely represents that 100% more so than the Spider-Man character. This is the Peter Parker character making every noble sacrifice that I have ever seen. This is the biggest sacrifice that I have ever seen Peter Parker partake in. After losing essentially his mother figure to save the world, he decides to have the entire planet, including his closest loved ones, forget his own identity to keep them safe, and enters into a world that doesn't even know that Peter Parker exists. Now, could this have been avoided in early stages of the movie? Like, maybe instead of, but within the Peter, preserve the peace on Earth. And this easily one of the greatest sacrifices of a hero that I have ever seen be put to film, to be put to screen. That's from anime to cartoon to movie in general. And that is why just an overall celebration of Spider-Man. That's why for me there was an easy spot to place it at number one. I know off of the excitement of Brand New Day, everybody's trying to say that this is the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Like, hey man, this is a great movie. In my opinion, this is Tom Holland's strongest performance as Peter Parker for sure. But kind of tough to beat when you have all of your nostalgic coming in and for one movie. That's impossible to beat that, dude. I'm sorry. Now, of course, all of your nitpickers and your you're gonna be just a nostalgic overload. Okay, bro. Well, listen, go sit on your. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna keep this positive. This is my list. This is my list. So if you want to make your own list, go make your own list. That's all it is too, man. That's it. That's my top 11 Spider-Man films ranked. So what are yours? Let me know in the comment section below, man. Did you enjoy this video? Are you a fan of Spider-Man? Are you a fan of Marvel? Are you a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? You know what to do. Hit that like button. I really appreciate that. Also, maybe consider hitting the hype button. You know, I've loved this franchise for the last 25, 30 years, man. I have no intentions of stopping anytime soon. We have Avengers Doomsday coming up next. I'm so excited to see it. So with that, we'll end it there. You can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, thank you guys for the years of support. And I will see y'all on the next one. I'll catch y'all later. Bye. Avengers Assemble.